All right, Senator Dahle, simple question. Did Joe Biden legitimately win the 2022 election against Donald Trump?
Yeah, actually, he did win the election, but the big question is does he know that? That's what I wonder sometimes. But I want to talk about...
You're talking about he being who?
Joe Biden.
What do you mean by that?
Well, yes, I agree that he won the election, but I wonder sometimes if he actually realizes that he's president of the United States.
Of course he recognizes, and that's you're insulting the president of the United States. Of course he understands he's president of the United States.
Go on.
If I may, I want to talk a little bit about doubling down on stupid. Doubling down on stupid is telling people that they're going to be forced into an electric car and then 2 days later saying that you can't charge your car. The policies that this governor's put forth don't work in California. Californians are suffering from the cost of living in California. Crime is running rampant. I know the governor talks about all this national stuff. He wants to talk about, a president that's not even in office. He wants to talk about our party. He wants to talk about everything but the facts of what I see and hear every day on the street. Californians are suffering because of your policies. I know that your friends and the people you run with don't actually can afford to live in California, but the everyday, hardworking, middle-class Californian governor is suffering from the policies you put forward. At the same time, we have no water, we have no electricity, we have no plan. Your plan, there is no plan. There's just throw money at it. You've had more money in the time you've been in office than there's ever been in California, and people are fleeing California. That's the facts. I know that you don't want to recognize that, and you want to talk about all these national issues because you can't talk about the facts that Californians are suffering because of high inflation and the policies that you've put forward.
California is suffering from high inflation, and that's why we've provided $18.5 billion in tax rebates, which you opposed. You opposed $9.5 billion in rebates that are going out right now to help offset these inflationary costs. The question to you is,
that's not true.
Why did you oppose that budget? Why did you oppose that appropriation?
I supported that. You need to go look at the record. I actually supported that.
It's just not true.
Senator Dahle, let me ask a slightly different question. You have called, and your fellow Republicans, for a gas tax holiday to get rid of the 54 or so cent gas tax, but there's no guarantee that that'll end up in the pockets of consumers. So how do you propose the state bring down the gas price in a meaningful way for consumers?
Well, there's 1,200 oil wells sitting at the desk of the governor waiting to get permitted in California, and he prefers not to get those permits out.
But you've called for a gas tax holiday.
Yeah, well, the gas tax holiday is the fastest way you can actually help drive down inflation. I own a trucking business. In the last 8 months, because of the governor's policies, it's cost $200 a day to put diesel in that truck. It's $1,000 a week. It's $4,000 a month. That drives up the cost of a gallon of milk, a dozen eggs for every hardworking Californian. So if you lower that gas tax across the board, it lowers your food, not only the gas you put in your tank. So those are the policies we put forth. We had the budget to backfill to take care of the highways in California. We should have done that. It would have gave Californians and families about a $1,700 rebate a year ago.
But how do you guarantee that if the tax goes away, that it's actually going to go to consumers and not just to the oil companies?
Well, you make sure that it's dropped at the pump.
You can't.
How do you ensure that? I mean, they're private companies. They don't have any obligation.
The biggest tax in California on gas and oil, the biggest profiter of it is the government. They make, actually, that's just the 54 cents is the highway tax. Right. All in, all government taxes is $1.42 a gallon.
So you guys wanted to take all of those?
No, I'm just saying, at the end of the day, if you drop down the gas tax, you're dropping down across the board food for people and when you put gas in their car. And we'll force the companies to make sure that the money goes to actually lowering the price of a gallon of gas.
How do you force them?
Well, we make sure that they do it through their taxes that we push down.